Hey,
What's up, brother? How are you?
man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro.
So I know we don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to go backwards really quick here to see if I could jog your memory a little bit of the last time or one of the last times I saw you. So check this out. Here's the story real quick. You guys are playing a festival show. It's in Wisconsin, and you guys are coming by the radio area and just kind of, doing a lot of interviews. And you come up to me and you kind of dap me up and give me a big hug. I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? How are you? That kind of thing. Well, now I have to go back one night. The night before, I had slipped and I cracked one of my ribs. And so when you came up and you kind of gave me a hug, I was like, I kind of winced a little bit. You didn't
Oh,
really see that
sorry.
at that time. Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Sorry.
So then you come in, we do the interview, we have a great time. It's a great interview. And then again at the end, you kind of give me that hug and you roll out, but you turned to like your manager or whoever it was at the time, maybe security, and you just said, hey, I think he's in pain. We should call a medic or help this kid out, and you guys head off and up comes the medic from the festival and they kind of grabbed me. They were like, hey, we hear you're in pain. We gotta test you here to make sure you're okay. I'm like, okay, well, I am in pain, but what's going on? Okay, yeah, I'll go with you. I go up, they start running all these tests on me. They end up thinking it's my heart. They don't know it's my rib. So they're starting to run these tests. I'm like, hang on, you guys. This is my rib. I think I'll be okay here. Let me just go take some aspirin and I'll be fine, kind of thing. So about a month later after that, dude, they send me a bill for $2,000 for that whole crazy ass
Ah,
thing. I know, man. So I
so I
called
owe
them.
you $2,000
Yes,
is what you're
yes,
saying.
yes. No. So I ultimately I called them, told them the story, and they totally understood. But I said, yeah, make sure you send that bill to Ben Burnley.
Yeah, yeah. And then the story will turn into that I'm the one that cracked your rib and everything. That's what it'll
So there
turn
it is,
into
man.
on the internet.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so just
Sorry.
silly. So no,
Thanks
it's
for
all
having
good.
me.
Yes, absolutely. So how you been, dude? How you been?
I've been good. How are you?
Really, really good. Yeah, I mean,
How's
so
your rib?
finally, I'm good. I'm all healed up. That was years ago. But yeah.
Goodness.
So the new track, Awaken. How do you how has been the reception so far with the new song?
Oh man, everybody's been super cool about it, and we're really stoked about it. I'm the kind of guy where I try to. And I wouldn't say I'm detached, but I try not to pay too much attention just because I don't want to face any failures more than
Sure.
you know so I just kind of let it go and let it do its thing, and from what I'm hearing, it's going well, and man, we're just over the moon about it. Everything that we do, we just do the best that we can, and that's all we can do, and we feel like we didn't have anything more we could have possibly done with this song. And so yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it was absolutely our best effort.
Yeah, well, you can hear it too. It's a great song and heavy too. The big guitars. I mean, was that a focus going
Yeah.
into this? Like, hey, man, let's just smack them right in the mouth.
Well, that's Jason right there. Like
Hmm.
I have done my fair share of guitar riffing in Breaking Benjamin, but he's the mastermind behind that.
Okay.
So that's
Now, you guys have been, kind of dormant, I would say, over the last 5 years, right? And I've even said it quite a few times on the radio. I'm like, something new is coming from Breaking Benjamin soon. And finally, we have this song, Awaken, obviously. But are you creating stuff in that time away from, a new record cycle? Are you always writing? Are you one of those type of people that are working on stuff all the time?
Yeah, for sure. Like if something comes into my mind, man, I grab my phone. Back to before phones, I used to have the all these like Mead notepads and like an actual little silver mini cassette recorder. So that was always my way, even before like smartphones. So now it's a smartphone, but yeah, I'm always like recording little ideas and little tiny pieces here and there and stuff like that. But I was just saying before in another interviews that I feel like, for me personally, COVID wasn't really an inspiring time for me. I just wasn't feeling right at all
Sure.
in that time. It just nothing was coming, nothing was happening. I think you need moving parts, moving life
Life. Yeah.
for stuff. So it does seem like a long time, but I think that's why. I mean, you got to erase those years, you got to subtract those years out of it. And if you do that, then it's about around the same time of how
Sure.
long our in between our releases are. So
Okay.
to me, I feel like we're on track. We might be a little bit behind, but we're not as far as behind as people think, because I don't, for me personally,
Hmm.
you got to subtract the COVID years.
Sure.
because there
Sure.
was absolutely nothing going on in that time.
Understood. Yeah, that makes
So
sense. You
yeah, I
know,
mean, we always take our time with stuff just to make sure that it's right. We don't want to be rushed. We there's every now and then we get messages from fans saying about how they like that our albums like from front to back are always pretty consistent, and that's a thing that I actually like personally,
a
not only
traditional sound to Breaking Benjamin kind of
yeah,
vibe. Yeah.
just to have it so that every song gets the same amount of love, and nothing's just thrown in there to be complete, and everything has a purpose and a place, stuff like that. So
Sure.
that takes time, because we could probably bang out an album by tomorrow if people wanted us to, but it wouldn't be,
No, right.
so,
So you said even with this track that we now have, Awaken, that you guys are kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit and doing stuff that you haven't done in the past. What does that look like? What is that? Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about that?
well, we'll push any boundary within the right means. Like we're not the type. Like you have two different kinds of listeners. You have people that will complain because you sound the same, and then you'll
Oh,
have people that love you because you sound the same.
of
There's
course.
no
Yeah.
way. There's no way to have both.
Make them all happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way because if you sound the same, you're not going to cater to the people that want you to sound different. If you sound different,
Sure.
you're not going to cater to the ones that. So
Understood.
we don't necessarily purposefully go one of those ways or the other. We just write the way that we write. I have a sound that's just the way I sound. It's like asking a seagull to sound like a crow. Like
Okay.
it's not
I
a
like that
crow, it's a
analogy. Sure.
seagull.
Sure.
Yeah, so like that might have like a thing to some people that we don't change our sound, but to us on the inside we certainly do. I mean, we are always using new amps, new strings, new guitars, new methods. Like we're always doing that kind of stuff. Like Awaken, for example, does follow a certain structure, but not all the songs on that album are going to,
Sure.
and not all the songs on the album are not going to.
Hmm.
So on the album, there'll be a little bit of literally everything, like a lot of different time signatures, a lot of different arrangements and stuff like that. And,
Right on.
Awaken is just one of those songs.
Well, you got some talented dudes in this band, man. I mean, Jason, Keith, those guys, writing with you. Wow, you've got a great trio right there of folks writing together. And that all those different brains coming together, that's got to only, help the situation for you. I mean, I can imagine working with those guys every day and everyone else in the band too. It's just got to be a blessing. They're so
Yeah,
talented.
everybody writes. Literally everybody writes. Sean contributes some lyrics. Aaron actually wrote the chorus to Red Cold River. The bass
Ah,
player, he wrote
love
the
that
chorus.
song.
Jason writes a lot of the riffs and a lot of the musical bedding stuff, and and Keith wrote Tourniquet. We have a song called Tourniquet. Keith wrote that whole song. So it's like, yeah, it's really nice to be able to I don't ever want to put down any past musicians that I've played with before, but it was very, very rare that I would get a complete song that's just ready. That's it. Like I do nothing to it.
Wow.
That's what it is. Like
Sure.
I can't even recall a time that that's ever happened before. Not that there haven't been um uh contributions. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about a whole song.
Sure.
If
Yep.
I write a guitar riff and I send it to someone, that's not a song.
Yeah.
It's a one
Right.
small part of a song.
Totally.
So yeah, these guys, I'm just that's what they do. They'll send me entire songs or songs where I only have to write the lyrics and vocal melody and nothing else. And I love that. Like I love being excited to see what it's going to be
I
instead
can
of being
imagine.
like, oh, I'm sure it's just a riff or it's just whatever. It's just a part.
Sure.
Sometimes it's harder just to get a part because then if you have just like one part from somebody or an incomplete thing, sometimes it's harder to complete something than it is to just start yourself from the ground up.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So how
So
do yeah, no, so I totally get it. But I mean that kind of leads me into asking you about the new record. You alluded to it a little bit. Is that the case? The record is done and there's a release coming in the new year, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, as far as releases and stuff go, I don't really have anything to do with when things are released or what. I don't even pick the
Sure.
singles, honestly. I just
Sure.
go, I just do my best and
Yeah.
let somebody else, take the
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that
responsibility.
for
Less
sure.
responsibility, the better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I feel you there.
yeah, so we have the bones. We're still working on it.
Okay.
We're still putting it together, but it's all the bones are there, which is the most important part. The hardest part's done. So now it's a part of just fleshing it out, which is actually a fun part. So we're busy doing that in all of our downtime. I also admittedly am not the kind of guy, excuse me, I'm not the kind of musician that I can like do anything on the road but be on the road.
Okay.
So I've
Sure.
kind of
Yeah, I like to
paused.
focus.
Yeah, I don't work on stuff on the road. I wish I could, but I don't. I'm just my brain's shut off to writing lyrics or writing parts when I'm on tour.
That makes sense, man. You guys got two shows here back to back in Texas, right? Tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah,
Are you guys taking time off then over the holidays, or do you get another tour
yeah,
announced soon? Yeah.
yeah. No, as soon as we're done, we're just going right back into working on the album. That's priority number one.
Sure.
So, and when I'm home chilling, that's like my best time to really get into it and do that kind of stuff. As far as future touring goes, man, I hardly know where I'm at right now.
Got you. Totally understand.
So
Yeah,
I'm
life is
sure
chaos.
I'm
Sure.
sure they're doing something. Well, I'm like that guy now, man. I'm just like just tell me where to be and what time and which way to face and what to say and what I'm gonna sing and I'll be there.
Sure.
I'm like the Jimmy Buffett of the just
Come on. You
too
got to get yourself a
relaxed.
Hawaiian shirt
Yeah,
on,
just
dude.
a Hawaiian shirt, roll in with a fruity drink, and just I was just at the beach and be like, all right, what's going on? What am I singing?
Yeah, that's great. Let's
You
go.
know,
Cool.
it's like that.
I get it. Well, after all these years of touring too, do you have some faves? A couple of faves that you really enjoy working with? Just because of the combination of the bands together, whether it be like Seven Dust. I know you appreciate them, but
Oh, we love
other
those
bands.
guys.
Yeah, yeah. Other bands that you really appreciate touring with.
I would say all. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna. I can't put anyone ahead of anybody in particular, just because everybody's cool in their own way. But I will say this tour is great because it's been so long
Mm,
since we've toured with Stained, and everybody in the camp is really all the bands are great. Lakeview and Daughtry, like everybody's been really really cool. It's just, I think what it is that there's tours like I did an Alice in Chains tour, right? And I
yes.
obviously love that tour.
Yeah. Last time
But
I saw you was then. Yeah, it was great.
but those guys, Bush, Alice in Chains, it leaves me in a state of constant nerves
Oh
and
wow,
and
I never thought about that.
intimidation because these guys are like heroes of mine.
Yeah,
And not that like Stained isn't. I mean,
sure.
I'm still that way, but it's just it's there's something to be said of the comfort of being able to relax because with Alice in Chains and Bush was a different thing because I grew up listening to them,
Me
like
too. Me
I
too.
was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So something like that I would say is a great tour in many ways, but always nervy.
Okay,
So there's a little, it's good discomfort, but it's discomfort.
understood.
It's a discomfort in a way that when you're talking to like a hot girl, you definitely want to be there, but you wouldn't say you're the most comfortable.
When you get on stage, though, does it have to? I don't know. Sometimes that adrenaline gets going. Does it raise your game a little bit playing with bands that you really look up to?
Well, we don't try to be like, oh, now it's we're not.
Nah, nah.
It's not. There's nothing. It's not a sport.
Sure.
So it's just the thing of like when we're on stage and there's people singing songs that
Yeah.
are with us.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm looking for.
That's
That's
pretty
it.
awesome, man. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm here for them. I'm not here. I wouldn't say I'm not here for myself, but I'm here for the people that support the band and that love the music. I mean, that's really the sole reason why I do this. I don't do it because I'm like I want to play right now. I
Yeah.
want to play if they're there.
Yeah,
Here.
absolutely. Well
Yeah.
said, brother. I appreciate your time today, Ben. I really do. I know you got to run, but thank you so much. Look forward to the new music in the new year. Take care of yourself, my friend. And that voice of yours has always been one of my favorites. So
Thanks, man. I
keep that going,
appreciate
my
that.
friend. And
Thank you
I
so
hope to
much.
see you in the near future.
I hope to see you too, man. Thank you
All
so
right,
much
brother.
for
Take
having me.
care. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.